Guys. Hello everyone, and welcome again to a new stream. Oh my god. Sorry, just my my laptop again just shut down at the beginning of the the other stream. Oh my gosh, I can't believe that just happened again. Oh my gosh, I thought I really thought I figured out what happened with my laptop last time. But apparently I didn't. So I think I'm going to hand up my laptop for maintenance or something, because literally it just shut down, and I'm starting to worry for my laptop because I have all my work here. Oh no. Anyways, let's just hope, pray that this time it's not going to shut down. So I'm redoing everything that I said. Oh god. So, first point. So you may know, and as you can see on the title of the stream, today we are changing. We're changing. We're changing story. We already done Flirters one, the Changing History one, and today we are starting the Heartbreaker one. Second point. As you can see, this one is also made by 𝐇𝐄𝐀𝐑𝐓𝐁𝐑𝐄𝐀𝐊𝐄𝐑. What happens? The Bloodthirst fic is no longer available on Wattpad. Why? Because the original writer, 𝐇𝐄𝐀𝐑𝐓𝐁𝐑𝐄𝐀𝐊𝐄𝐑, was having some issues. I don't know, it was a health issue also, but she was going to take a break, and she's going to re-upload every story she's ever written. But she's going to take her time and everything. So until she republishes the Bloodthirst story, he would update the link. As for now, she moved to another account, and she's starting to, as I said, re-upload her stories. And lucky us, one story that is already being re-uploaded is the Heartbreaker one. So I'm going to leave like this one. I'm going to leave the link in the description for her new profile and this new story. I'm gonna leave in the summary. Oh god. Sorry guys, I'm just too sad. Like I I, I did the intro so good on the last time. I didn't stutter, and then the stream just divided because my computer just shut down. Anyways, with all that said and done, let's start this new Disney story. Oh gosh. I'm hoping it's not going to be divided again in the stream. I hope. So, you awaken one day with virtually no memories. The only thing guiding you is some strange system that likes to dictate your every mood. And for some reason, It insists that you make certain people fall in love with you. Desperate for answers, you decided to go along with its demands. After all, how hard can it be? Apparently, too hard because I can continue. I can continue doing this. Oh, anyways, let's start this story. Everything's good, everything's fine. Perfect. Oh, wait, one thing. There are 25 parts here. What that means, slash 25. Oh, that's not the TypeScript. There. Slash 25 chapter. So again, what that means is that if we get to the 12th chapter, we are going to move on to the next one that is Elysian, again from Wattpad. Now, with all that said and done, let's start this new story. I think how do you say this? I think I've already read it. Like it rang a bell when I read the summary, but I don't remember exactly. Well, let's see. Chapter 0. Prologue. Again, like this is what I've been telling you. Like, finally bringing back Heartbreaker. This is an older story of mine that was written a long time ago and has unfortunately been on hiatus for a while. And at the rate I was going before, I was never going to be able to finish it. So this time I really want to see it through until the end. I'm republishing it now since I have a lot of pre-written chapters to post first. And I've also rewritten the story in the present tense to align it with my current writing style. But the plot and progression is still the same as before, so as you are rereaders, please try to refrain spoiler things from newer readers. I really want to complete more of my stories instead of leaving so many of them on hiatus. So I'm looking forward to continue with this one. Otherwise, if you've never read the story before and don't know what this is about, I hope you'll consider giving it a try. That's where we are going. Chon chon cha chon chon cha chon chon chon. When you open your eyes, everything is dark. There's very little that you can feel, apart from your arithmetic reading, faint as it is. It's secretly quiet too. You aren't sure why exactly, but you get the sense that this isn't how things should be. It doesn't feel natural to be all alone. No sign of light as far as your eyes can see. You can't move your body even after trying for a good while. So you eventually give up and allow yourself to settle in the silence. As it turns out, total silence is loud in its own way. It makes your ears buzz from the ever-present nothingness. It makes your brain feel like it might shut down. You don't know what in the world is going on, but the longer this continues, the more likely it is that you will go insane. Then, as if by miracle, the silence breaks. You're awake. Someone is talking to you. Well, not really talking to you. It's strange. You can't hear a voice or anything like that. Instead, you can see the word pops in front of your eyes, like some sort of weird projection. The projection makes a slight ping as it pops, but otherwise, no words are exchanged out loud. Hello? You call out fearfully. Ah, so you can talk. Your voice isn't lost, thankfully. It's just that you can move your body forward. Not that you ever know where to go. Everything is pitch black. Hello, how are you feeling? Scared? You admit, swallowing hard. I don't know what's going on, and I don't remember anything. I don't remember a single thing. That's okay. You're King Athena. Don't be scared. Everything is going to be just fine. Athena. All right. You have a name too. And when you mumble aloud, just to familiarize yourself with the sound of it, you relieve that it sounds familiar. You're a real person with a name. You have that much, at very least. It's too bad that everything else is a total mystery to you. Why am I here? You manage to ask. Actually, where is here? It's hard to explain. This is a part of space and time that is only accessible to you. Who are you then? I'm not a person. I'm a system. Again, accessible to you and you only. Other people won't be able to communicate with me the way you do. I'm only here to guide you through things and give you tasks. You feel yourself thrown. Tasks? What sort of tasks? I don't really understand it. My head is starting to hurt a lot. I'm really scared. Why don't I remember anything? Like I said, there's no reason to be scared. I'm not going to hurt you. I'm on your side. But in order for this to work, you'll have to cooperate with me. All right? Your hair is now throbbing without abandon, but you can't so much as move as a hand to press even down for the points on the point that hurt you and try to ease the pain. None of this is making any sense. You hate that you don't remember anything. And even though this system is trying to claim that they harbor no ill intent, they aren't exactly answering to your questions either. I want to leave, you breathe out. Please, let me leave. Are you the one who took my memories? If you did, I'm begging you to get them back. I'm terrified not knowing what's going on. I don't know how to explain this, but it feels like a piece of me has been ripped away. I don't even know who I am. The system doesn't respond for a long time, and you feel as though you might drown in the sea of emptiness. Eventually, you hear another ping. I didn't take your memories, but I know how you can get them back. All you have to do is cooperate. It won't be difficult. I don't know, it sounds kind of sus. The more of the messages you read, the more you doubt whether the system is truly an ally. Exactly. But what else can you do? You can't even move a muscle. You're absolutely helpless. You can only bite back your tears and try to stay strong. Okay, you agree. I just want my memories back. As long as you're not going to make me do anything crazy, then I'm in. The next ping sounds more cheaper somehow, as if the system is pleased with your response. Excellent. In that case, let's get you back to the real world. You don't even, you don't even manage to protest before the scene changes. Suddenly, you can move again. It isn't dark or quiet anymore either. There are crowds of people all over the place. Most of them seem to be in a hurry to get some places. Some even accidentally bumping into you as they scurry about. Unsurprisingly, you don't recognize where you are. For now, it's better than being trapped in the darkness. Where is this? You ask. You must look rather silly to all the bystanders since you're talking to thin air, as far as they're concerned. But you couldn't care less about maintaining appearances right now. What matters is getting some actual answers. This is Musutafu, Japan. You'll be living here. Alright. It's strange how they say you will be living here, not that you do live yet here. Yet another cryptic answer, although you shouldn't even be surprised at this point. Can you at least tell me something about myself? Yes, you're a teenager. Okay, and do I have a family? You can help but ask. Is there anyone who can help me, who can tell me what I've forgotten? The system's response makes your heart sink. No, you don't have a family. Nobody knows you either. I am the only one who can help you get through this. Oh my god. You briefly wonder if they're lying to you. But you suppose you have no real way of confirming the truth right now. This is also so frightening. You desperately wish you could remember something, anything, so that it heals your blah, 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 so that it ease your nerves even just a little. Don't worry. I've taken the necessary steps to ensure that you have a home to live in. You'll be just fine. But for now, it's time to get started with your first task. It just so happens that there's a person you need to meet nearby. That sure makes you perk up. A person, they said. Whatever that person is, maybe they can help you once you tell them where you're struggling with a severe case of amnesia. Maybe they'll know what to do. And you won't have to rely on this stupid system who just keeps stringing you along without even giving you a chance to breathe. So, you nod. All right, tell me where I need to go. Take a look on the next scene. I'm going to pull up. Follow the map, and it'll show you exactly which route to take. But move quickly, or you'll lose them. Just as I said, the next screen that pops up provides you with a clear visual as to which way you need to go. You follow it dutifully, somehow nervous that you're being led into a trap. After all, perhaps the system is leading you straight towards a serial killer or something. Perhaps the true purpose is to get you murdered. Maybe I should reconsider, and maybe I need to go to the police first. Except it's already too late for that. There, you see that guy? He's the one you're interested in. Approach him and try striking up a conversation. The guy in question is a teenager, presumably around your age, with spiky ash blonde hair, crimson eyes, and a rather nasty expression. Oh my god, no. Don't tell me he's going to be the first person after we are being. Oh my god. He's angrily chugging a can of pop, and once he finishes, he makes the can explode in his hands before tossing the smoking remains to the ground. You gap. He just lit her, but also, why did he do that? I swear I just watched him create an explosion with his bare hands. People can use all sorts of strange powers, known as quirks. His quirk just so happened to give him the ability to create explosions. Wow, you mumbled breathlessly. Do I have a quirk too? I'm the closest thing you have to one. Your ability to communicate with me and use my functions is something entirely unique. You can consider me your quirk if you like, but we can discuss the details later. For now, go talk to him. What do I say? You don't have to say anything in particular, but your goal is to try and get close to him. For now, focus on becoming acquainted, but eventually, you want him to develop romantic feelings for you. Huh? You swear you must misread the message. What in the world are they talking about? Why do they want you to put on the move on some person you just seen for the first time in your life? Or is it the first time actually? The longer you stare at this guy, the more you're starting to feel like he looks familiar somehow. But maybe that's a good thing. Maybe that means he can help trigger you some of your memories. The system continues to coax you. Don't be nervous. Obviously, he won't fall in love with you straight away. You need to try and establish some sort of relationship. Just make yourself known, make a good impression so that he'll remember you. You'll figure that'll be easier said than done, but okay. All you have to do is be friendly, you suppose. Just walk upon him and make a polite conversation. Yeah, you can do this. It's going to be fine. Taking a deep breath, you pick up the pace and walk fast enough to match his stride. Thankfully, he's alone, which will hopefully make you think the whole thing a lot less awkward. Keyword being hopefully. Hello is the only thing you can think to say. How else are you supposed to greet a total stranger after all? At the sound of your voice, he turns towards you, and his brows furrow so tight that it looks like he's about to pop a vein. The hell do you want? He spits. Oh no. You weren't expecting him to be so confrontational. Granted, most people would probably think it's a bit weird to be called out by a stranger, but the normal response is, yes, or how can I help you? Yet, this guy is glaring at you like he wants to punch you in the face. And all you've said so far is one freaking word. Uh, hello, you said again, stirring this time because you're nervous. Um, I I saw you walking by and thought you looked really cool. I'm Athena. Would you mind giving me your number? What kind of conversation is that? Oh no, we're so screwed. Internally, you're face palming. God, you don't know what you're supposed to say. And the fact that the system said that they want you to make him fall for you is sending your brain in a loop. You don't have any memories about the person you are. Is this something you'd normally say? Are you actually good at flirting? But your charisma has disappeared along with your memories? The system seems mildly frustrated as well. You came a bit too strong there. Well, maybe that's my fault. I shouldn't warn you that this guy has a pretty short fuse. Oh, well, let's just see what happens. Oh my gosh. What happens is that this guy is called depends tenfold on the top of already being angry. But he now looks considerably disgusted as well. Leave me alone, he snaps. I'm not in the mood. You think I'd just give out my number to some random creep? Get lost. He then shoves his hands deep in his pockets and storms off, muttering curses under your breath the whole time. You don't you don't need your memories to know what he's that to know that just went poorly. A new message pops up, but it looks slightly different from the ones that you've been receiving thus far. Status update. Baku Akatsuki thinks you're an you're an eyesore. Minus 10 love points. Current progress. Minus 10 from 100. Bakugo Katsuki. You mumble. Huh. Even his name sounds familiar, but you can't place it. You wince at the clutter in your head, which has begun to drop again. You feel like you're on the cusp of remembering something, but there's some sort of wall blocking your memories and keeping them from you. While you're busy feeling the pain, the system changes in again. That was a failure, but you learn the hard way, I guess. Do your best so that it doesn't happen again. It's important that your targets fall in love with you. They have to fall in love with you. Understand? The system doesn't have a voice, which means that you can't hear them speak. But there's something mildly threatening about the way the message is phrased. Hon, 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 hon. Oh, it's happening. Notes of the story: MC has designed targets who the system wants her to pursue and develop a close bond. But not all of these targets will have a romantic dynamic with her. Shiraki is 17 years old in the story when the main arc of the story of UA begins, so he's a romantic love interest. But the characters like Chisaki and Dabi are their canon ages. We'll only have a platonic dynamic with MC. Okay. Anyways, I'm excited to finally work towards Heartbreaker's conclusion. And thank you as well for the support. Oh my god. Like, the system is such a big word. uh, chapter 1. I was going to straight to the story. Chapter 1. Starting from scratch. You don't know what's happened to you, but you need to get to the bottom of things, one way or another. Where are you going? To the police, you grit out. I should have done this in the first place. Even though I've lost my memories, surely someone will be able to help me, or or at the very least, they can admit me to a hospital so that I can be examined by a doctor. You claim I have no family, but there must be some sort of documentation for them to go off. I'm confused and really scared, and I don't know what you're on about. Making people fall in love with me or whatever. I thought you could help me, but it doesn't seem like you're willing to. You shouldn't do that. No offense, but I'm done listening to you. All you've done is make me more confused, and I need someone who will actually help. You don't know where exactly the nearest police station is, but you figure you can find your way there by asking around. Except you apparently aren't permitted even that much. Ugh! Your head is suddenly hurting again. Except easily 10 times worse than before. It's so bad that you end up crumbling into the ground in a fetal position, pressing your hands against the side of your head and biting back tears. The system clearly isn't happy. I said no. That isn't a solution. You don't seem to understand. Nobody knows who you are. It was enough of a hassle to forge documentation and find you a place to live. What do you think will happen if the police start looking into you? It'll just lead to an endless investigation, one that will no doubt complicate your life and make you miserable. The best thing you can do is lay low and complete your task. You're not from this place originally. You're going to have to forge your own path. The only way your memories will appear is by doing as you're told. No one else can do this for you. Oh my god. You grit your teeth and wipe your damp eyes. The system really is a major pain to deal with. They expect you to do their binding without even questioning anything. How they can even ensure what the memories how can you even ensure that your memories will come back if you complete those so-called tasks? If anything, they're probably using your amnesia to their advantage. There's no guarantee that your memories will return even if you go along with their demands. Please let me go, you beg. All I want is to remember. That's all. I don't want to be your puppet and make people fall for me or whatever else. Is that too much to ask? There's a lengthy pause, and when you hear the next pink, the edge of the projection seems to have turned into a reddish color, the color of anger. You're being difficult. Fine then. I didn't want I didn't want to have to do this, but you leave me no choice. I think you'll be benefit from a bit of time to clear your head and think things through. Oh my gosh! Your face goes pale. What? What does it mean? Hey, what are you trying to say? Once again, your world is plunged into darkness. Oh my god. You can tell if it's been minutes, hours, or days. When faced with the vast existence of nothing, your sense of time is understandably warped. Just like before, you can't move a muscle. All you can do is talk, and for a while, you do exactly that. Right out into darkness, begging to be released, begging for the system to let you out. But you don't receive a response. They're deliberately ignoring you, and you suppose that placing back in here is what it means to be some sort of punishment. A very cruel punishment for that matter. You stop struggling after realizing that it's futile. Tears roll down to your cheeks as you sob quietly, but no one comes to help you. In here, you are completely and utterly alone. So, have you had a change of heart? The system is talking to you again. You blink wearily, vision partly blurry from all the tears streaming in your eyes. By now, it's undeniably clear that they aren't an ally. You're on your own personal tormentor. They're your own personal tormentor. They can lock up they can lock you up inside of the endless void for as long as they wish. Distort your mind for all eternity if they so desire. After 2 instants of his sensation, you decided that you never want to be trapped in here again. You already had enough. If cooperating with the system is the only way to avoid such a thing and possibly regain your memories, then it looks like you don't have much of a choice. All right, you say weakly. I'm just tired. All I wanted was things to make sense. But I'll listen now. I promise I'll listen. So please don't lock me up here again. It's horrifying. Please. Good. I'm glad you're finally seeing reason. Don't worry. I will never ask you to do anything criminal or otherwise morally wrong. Your task will be simple, and for the most part, they'll consist of you befriending others and trying to make them like you. If you do that, I'm confident your memories will return little by little, and I won't have any reasons to lock you up here again. They've already proven to be incredibly untrustworthy. So you don't want to put complete faith in their words. But it doesn't seem like there is any other option. You just hope that, as suspicious as they aren't also a liar. Can I go back now? I want to get out of here. I can't take it anymore. Of course. I'll bring you back right now. I think it's time for you to see what your home looks like. When you open your eyes, you're back in the exact same place as before. It doesn't look like anything has changed since you left. Based on the sun and sky overhead, you doubt much time has passed either. Does time flow differently inside the isolated place when compared to the real world? You must be wondering why this scenario looks relatively unchanged. It's because the place you were just in completely removed from this world. Even if you spend 10 years inside there, not a single second will pass out here. The two are independent of each other. Wow! Honestly, you aren't sure whether or not to be relieved. On the plus side, it sounds like there are no consequences to being pulled into this strange void. Your real body is invulnerable in the process of doing so. But on the other hand, that means there's no limit to how long the system can keep you there. You really can be trapped for eternity, and the thought is so horrifying that it makes your entire body tremble. Like before, a projection of a map appears before your eyes. Time to go. You must be feeling pretty drained. So head towards the location I mark on the map. That's where you'll be living. You definitely need a proper break. Not a time out inside a lifeless prison. The thought of being able to sit back and kick your feet up is strangely appealing. It won't solve all your problems, not by any means, but at least it's a start. After following the map for a little while, you arrive at your destination. Thankfully, it didn't take you very long to get there. You suppose the system purposely brought you to an area near your home. You find yourself standing in front of a house. It's on the smaller side, but then again, you're only one person, so you doubt you'll be in need of much space. How do I get in? You ask. There's a key in your pocket. Use that. What the? How long has that been in there? You decide not to sweat the small stuff, and as expected, the key is able to unlock the front door. After taking a few moments to collect yourself, you step inside. Well, it's certainly minimalist. Minimalist, that much is for sure. And by that you mean there's literally no furniture. It looks like your dream of sinking into a plush or sofa or something is on a table. Great. You have no memories, practically no autonomy, and now no furniture either. Well, what do you think? You decide not to risk upsetting it again and chuckle weakly. It's nice. You lie. That's not what you really think. You're wondering why there's nothing here. But don't worry, you can make your own furniture. I'll show you how. Uh, what? You gulp. I have various functions that you can use. One of those is a crafting function, but as now, there are limits to how much you can do with it. Just take a look at the screen for now. Right on cue, a new projection pops up. It's an image of a wooden chair that, with, a, with what appears to be a cushion seat. You furrow your brows, wondering what you're meant to do with this information. Craft simple wooden chair, mat, plus cushion seat. Yes. The second you tap on yes, something bright flashes in front of you. You let out a little squeal and shield your eyes. When you reopen them, the chair from the image has somehow appeared, as if magic. Stunned, you tangly tap on the chair, just to make sure that it's real. It's solid to the touch, so no doubt about it. You just created that thing out of thin air. That's so cool! You gush. But unfortunately, your excitement doesn't last long. All of a sudden, you feel drained beyond relief. If you were in battery, then you just are about to completely deplete your charge. Your exhaustion is so heavy it feels like you've been hit by a truck. Thankfully, you now have a chair to collapse into. Good thing. You groan. I'm so tired. Is this normal? Did I do something wrong with my crafting? No. This is simply the extent of your capabilities at the moment. I have all sorts of different functions available for use, but it all depends on how efficiently you can wield them. It will be difficult at the start, but you get better over time. The harder you work, the more capable of you will be capable of. Either way, the possibilities are endless. You suppose it's still nice to have an ability like this. Since people apparently have all sort of power called quirks, you're glad to have a power of your own. If only the system wasn't so unsufferable at times. Can I make food too? You ask hopefully. Unfortunately, you're not able to make anything that is living or otherwise organic compound. This includes all forms of food, plants, animals, etc. Ah, figures. That would have been a bit too overpowered. You can, however, create money. That's how I was able to forge documents for you and purchase a home for you to live in. There's very little I can do without you, though. It took a great deal of energy to plan out all of this and make it work. That's why I didn't want to risk running into the ruining it by going to the police. You blink. Creating money, like counterfeit bills, but that's that's illegal. I shouldn't be doing something like that. Well, you're a teenager. You can't even find a decent paying job, let alone obtain the rights to live on your own. This is the only way. You would need to stay in an orphanage otherwise, and that would make completely your tasks too troublesome. Naturally, you shouldn't abuse my functions or use them to inflict harm onto others. You will only create as much money as you need to live comfortably. No more, no less. The pit in your stomach tells you that you aren't that sort of person to relish the choice of behavior, but so long as you're only using enough to live, it should be okay. At least you hope. You don't know anything about your life, of what your life was like up until now, after all, and defying the system doesn't seem to be an option. Otherwise, it'll drive you back into the void again. It's the only way. That's what you've been telling to yourself to avoid feeling like an awful person. You slump back on the chair and let out a heavy sigh. There's so much to think about, so much that you don't know. Not only you're physically exhausted after using the system powers, but you're mentally exhausted too. The system seemed to realize as much. You should try and get some sleep. There's no bed yet, but there should be a food and over in that corner. Take a nap. If you're feeling hungry once you wake up, you can order some food. There should be a decent amount of money in your wallet. For the time being, I've stored it, but you can retrieve it from later on. You nod weakly. Sleep is good. You're really craving sleep. Maybe a bit of sleep is what you need. Maybe what maybe you'll wake up with your memories fully intact. It sounds like a stretch, but it isn't entirely impossible. Given everything that's happened with the system so far, you can confidently say that much. You barely manage to unfold the futon before you're out like a light. Chon, 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 chon. As it turns out, you're so tired that you end up sleeping all the way until the next morning. And this time, when you wake up, there's a new message to greet you. Daily task. Run 5 kilometers. What the? You mutter. I have daily tasks too? Yes. On top of your long term goals of winning your targets over, there are daily tasks that will help you keep focus, and hone your body. I'm able to issue reward based on, on completion. The more difficult the task, the better the reward. Either way, it's worth it just it's worth it even just for the sake of discipline. Hmm. You suppose going on a run certainly isn't the end of the world. Since you have amnesia, it's probably important to maintain your health and fitness. The last thing you need is to develop other medical complications as well. I'm hungry, you groan. You said I have a wallet somewhere, right? Can I please have it? I'll go for a run and then buy something to eat afterwards. Sure, you can store countless items inside your inventory. Your wallet is one of the few things you have there right now. Open inventory? Yes. They're right that you don't have as much as apart from the wallet. The only other thing that is what it looks like hospital wristband? I want the wallet, you said, and I'd like to take a look at the wristband as well. Upon your words, both items appear in your hands. The wallet is, well, literally just a wallet, but the wristband intrigues you for some reason. You lift it up to get a better look at it, and oddly enough, the writing on it appears to be faded. You can't tell what it's supposed to say. Why do I have this? You try asking the system the same question, but they say they don't know. They could be lying, or they could be telling the truth. It's hard to tell. You feel like the wristband is important, though, for reasons you can't put into words. I'll put the hospital wristband back for now. Just like that, it disappears from your grip and reappears back in the inventory screens you have open. Your hair is hurting again, although you're starting to get used to the pain. It'd probably be a recurring trend. You stash your wallet in your pocket and let out a sigh. All right, I guess it's time to go for a run, and then I can finally get some food. Despite the fact that you know almost nothing about yourself, it seems like your body's physical state is fine. For the most part, running doesn't cause you some excess pain, but otherwise indicate that you have any injuries. You don't feel like you're incredibly athletic, though. If you have to fandom a guess, you're fairly average. But it isn't like you're trying to win or anything other, or any rewards or anything. Being average is just fine by you. What you care is about is regaining your memories. Running 5 kilometers is a small price to pay if you'll eventually get you closer to your goal. You can probably finish the distance in about 30 minutes. Or so you thought. You end up slowing to a stop, but only because you've caught sight by a familiar face. There he is again, 𝐇𝐄𝐀𝐑𝐄𝐊𝐄𝐑, the same guy you spoke to yesterday, and based on what the system keeps saying, someone you need to get close to. Except this time, he isn't alone. There's another boy with him, one that has curly hair, big green eyes, and freckled cheeks. For some reason, he also looks familiar. You wince a palm, instinctively clenching your head, which is throbbing once again. Oddly enough, the system isn't saying anything. Don't they want you to approach Katsuki again? That's one of your tasks, isn't it? Maybe they're just waiting to see if you'll be proactive on your own. Maybe this is a test, and if you don't make the right choice, you shudder when you remember being trapped in the godforsaken void. No way am I ever going back there. With apprehension full in your actions, you change your direction and head to the two boys instead. They're talking. Well, not really talking, actually. Arguing is probably most accurate. And if you're even being more precise, only one of them is actively saying things. The other is shrinking away out of what you can only assume is fear. Katsuki is harassing the other boy. You watch as he grabs onto his victim's shirt and pulls him closer, steam rising from the point where his palms connected with fabric. You're unsure why exactly, but something tells you that you have to intervene. If you don't, the freckle boy is going to get hurt. The thought of him getting hurt makes your chest ache for some reason. Stop it! You cried out, pushing Katsuki away from the other boy without even thinking it through. Oh no, we're we're doomed. You realize your mistake quickly enough. Damn it, you're supposed to get closer to him, not to make him hate you even more. At first, Katsuki's eyes widen from a shock, but it doesn't take long for them to narrow. He's glaring at the same way he did yesterday when you introduced yourself for the first time. Actually, scratch that. He's easily angrier right now. You again, creepy girl? He grimaces. What the hell? Are you stalking me now or what? Who gave you the right to touch me? Status update. Bakugo Katsuki thinks you're incredibly annoying. Minus 10 love points. I shouldn't have got in. So much for being a good person. It's not good to pick fights with people. It's all you can. It's all you think you can say. Honestly, though, you would have been better if not saying of a word. Katsuki keeps reaching of new heights of anger, ones that you didn't even think were possible. Don't you dare tell me what to do! He grits out. Then he shoves you back so hard that you trip, fall, and backwards. You trip and fall backwards, flat on your backside. Hakugo Katsuki wants to beat the crap out of you. Minus 10 love points. Oh no! They keep decreasing! If you ever show your face to me again, you're going to regret it, he warns. On that note, Katsuki storms away just like the last time. You hear one final ping before another projection pops up. Bakugo Katsuki is close to loathing you. Minus 10 love points. Current progress, minus 40. Minus 40 out of 1,000. No, 100. 100? 100. Devastated, you just stay sitting on the ground. You aren't sure how you managed to screw things up badly. Clearly, you've been underestimating how easy it is to get on Katsuki's nerves. Just as it seems like the day is off to an awful start, a timid voice cuts through the silence. Thank you, is the boy who Katsuki was about to hit. You managed to keep him from getting hurt, at least. That's better than nothing. The system isn't going to be happy, though. I might actually snap if they put me back in the dark place again. That was really brave of you, the boy continues. He's blushing a bit while speaking. Perhaps he's naturally shy. Helping a total stranger like that. I mean, if you don't mind asking, what's your name? Surprisingly, you hear another ping. Status update. Midori Suku looks up to you. Plus 30 love points. Current progress 30 out of 100. Huh. Well then, you thought that you made a total mess of things, but in the process of angering one of your targets, you somehow made a good impression on the other. It's funny how things work out. You manage to smile and slowly stand up. I'm Athena. And you? We're meeting again. We're meeting the kid again. Damn, the system is such a bitch. Oh my gosh. Chapter 2. Rank up. Compared to Katsuki, Izuku is much easier to get along. He struck you as a rather timid, but despite the fact that you've only just met, something tells you that he's a good person. You aren't sure why, but you can just tell. At the very least, you're off to a good start since you helped him out. Are you okay now? You ask. Izuku nods hastily. Yeah, it's no bit of a deal. It's no big deal. Kachan always getting angry at me for some reason or another. But I appreciate you cutting in. Most people wouldn't. Actually, it's the first time anyone ever has. Kachan? You suppose it's Katsuki's nickname or something? Well, you don't know the exact nature of their relationship. The hateful glare Katsuki gives you when you intervene, plus the way Izuku basically cowered from him, is enough to tell you that they don't get along. In that case, how are you supposed to win both of them over? Katsuki lost his mind when you helped Izuku out. The whole thing is giving you a massive headache. But again, you remember you have no choice. There's no way around it but to follow the system's orders. Anything is better than being tormented for eternity. Anyways, I'm really sorry for bothering you. Izuku blushes. You're probably busy. I didn't mean to keep you for too long. I'm not busy, you insist, which is technically true. You were in the middle of completing your 5-kilometer run as part of your daily task, but otherwise, you have all the time in the world. Besides, one of your targets is right in front of you. You need to take advantage of this opportunity to get to know him as much as possible. And if the system is actually telling you the truth, the more people you get to fall in love with you, the more your memories will return, right? That's a hard if, though. Do you want to hang out for a bit? You blurt. You hope you aren't coming across as too forward, but you can risk him leaving right now. You can't guarantee when you'll meet him again. Izuku's face only gets red. It is only getting redder. Hang out? You mean with me? Of course. There's no one else here, is there? For reasons you can't quite explain, he seems in utter disbelief that you want to spend time with him. It doesn't really make sense. He seems like a perfectly nice person, unlike his hot-headed counterpart. Eventually, though, Izuku swallows and asks his head. If you sure don't mind, then yes, he says, smiling shyly. I would like I would like that. Status update. Midori Izuku has a good impression of you. Plus 10 love points. Yes! This is going a lot better than you expected. And you have Izuku's kind nature to thank for that. You're unsure exactly what's happening when you max out your love points, but for now, you seem to be on the right track. You grin. Okay. Well, what do you want to do? I'm not super familiar with the area, if I'm being honest. Is there anywhere we can sit down for a little while and chat? There's a park nearby. Would that be all right? Sure. Lead the way. You walk side by side, and you quickly come to realize that Izuku isn't the best at striking up a conversation. His shyness makes him more to likely shrink on himself, but despite the silence that settles over the two of you, it isn't unpleasant. Even just being next to him has a way of lifting your spirits. You catch him stealing glass at you very often, and his blush had yet to desist. Midori Izuku thinks you're pretty. Plus 10 love points. Now it's your turn to blush. Jeez. These updates are useful as far as knowing your actions are affecting the people you want to get close to, but it's a bit weird being so aware of their thoughts. You feel guilty about it to a certain degree, even though it is completely out of your control. It's just over there. Izuku eventually perks up. There are benches where we can sit down. How does that sound? Sounds perfect. You beam. Izuku returns your smile with one of his own, and he looks more confident doing so this time. You have to admit that he's pretty cute. He has a way of coming across as endearing. It's not that he's one of the people of the system wants to win over, because you imagine you'll probably grow to love his company. Before long, you take a seat in the park bench. Izuku's wary of keeping a bit of distance between the two of you, most likely not because he doesn't want to be near you, but because he's too embarrassed to get close. So, you begin. Since we still don't know each other very well, maybe you could start by telling me what kind of things you're into? Izuku pauses for a few moments, launching his hands together. Then he gives you a cautious look. Um, I like heroes. I think they're super cool. You're officially lost. Heroes? What does he mean by that? As if predicting your thoughts, the system decides to chime in. Remember how I said people can use quirks? Certain people decided to use those quirks on theirs to become heroes and protect their public. Conversely, there are those too who use their quirks for malicious purpose and are referred to as villains. Being a hero is a job. You can think of them as similar to the police, except they're much more involved in taking down criminals and rescuing civilians. Interesting. Honestly, it makes sense. There are bound to be people who exploit their powers, but also who keep them in check. Based on Izuku's expression, he seems quite eager to get into the topic. Even though he's trying to suppress his excitement, he probably idolizes heroes for a good reason. It sounds like they're actively risking their lives to help others. It's an admirable job. Heroes are awesome. You second. You obviously mean what you say, despite having no memories to guide you. Izuku's lips, Izuku's lips split into a grin. Which hero is your favorite? Uh, balls. You're perfectly content to pile off his enthusiasm, but you don't actually know any heroes by name. If you don't give him a convincing response, though, he'll realize you're just making things up. Mercifully, the system comes to your rescue. Oh my god. Say you like All Might. He's the strongest hero in the world, so he's a safe bet. There's hardly anyone who doesn't like him. Are you sure about that? That's not what the series is about. All Might is really cool. You stammer. He's just, awesome. I like him a lot. It turns out that's the right answer, because Izuku agrees within tenfold. I know, right? He gushes. He's the most amazing hero out there. I watch pretty much of the content there is on him, and I've got tons of his collectibles too. He's really incredible. The way he saves people with a smile, no matter what. He's honestly my idol. I want to be just like him someday, and Izuku stopped mid-sentence, and a vibrant blush spread across his freckled cheeks. Sorry, he says shamefully, looking away from you. Sometimes I get a bit too excited when I talk about heroes, especially if it's All Might. I bored you, didn't I? You smiled encouragingly. It wasn't bothering at all. I think it's good to be passionate about things. Heroes do amazing work by keeping people safe. So wouldn't you be excited to talk about them? Oh, I guess that's true. It's just that most people can't be bothered to listen. Izuku's smile slowly returns, and you hear a familiar ping. Midoriya Izuku thinks you're a nice person. Plus 10 love points. Wow, this is going really well. You try not to feel too guilty. The system aside, you are enjoying your time with him. The things you're saying aren't shallow or purely motivated by personal interest. You don't have any memories, and you feel terribly alone and afraid. You would be elated to have a friend to stand by all amounts at all of you. You would be elated to have a friend to stand by you amidst all of this. If I'm being honest, Isuku continues, looking a bit more hesitant now. I really want to become a hero myself. It's an ambitious goal, though. I know it won't be easy. I'm worried it might not even be possible, actually. You frown. Why is that? Because I don't have a quirk. Once he utters the words, he looks over at you fearfully, as if he's worried that you might react with complete disgust. Naturally, you have no intention of doing that, and technically speaking, you don't have a quirk either. The system powers are apparently completely different from the rest. In that sense, you and Izuku are alike. The system told you that heroes use a quirk to protect the public, but that doesn't mean that you need a quirk in order to save others. The definition of hero, from what you know, is someone who is admired for their bravery and self-sacrifice. You don't necessarily need to outlandish power to be worthy of that admiration. Mm, Hold on, I think someone's calling at the door. I need to I need to go. I'll be cutting this after I edit some things. I'll put you some music and I'll be back in a few minutes. was a false alarm, but there we go. I was losing connection. I was like, oh no, it's happening again. Okay, so let's continue. Where were we? Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. The system told you that heroes use their quirks to protect the. No, I think that's already. Okay, let's just continue. I, I hope I'm going to take it where we left it. You don't necessarily need an established power to be worthy of admiration. A person doesn't need a quirk to be a hero, you say, and you're fully believe to, and you fully and you fully believe those words. I think it has more to do with the kind of person you are, how much you care for others and want to help them. If becoming a hero is something you really want, and it means enough for you that you'll work hard to achieve, then there's no reason you can't be one. That's my take on it, at least. You worry that you came across a bit insensitive. It sounded like most people have quirks, so Izuku has probably felt like an outsider for a very long time. But you still hold true to your words. Your God is telling you that he has what it takes to become a hero. Perhaps it's a bit baseless, and you feel very sure of this fact. Izuku, Izuku had been silent for a while, but out of nowhere, tears well up in his eyes. Ah, don't cry, you splutter. I'm sorry. I wasn't trying to upset you. I shouldn't have spoken like it. I never, like, I've even know everything about you when you only just met. No. Izuku sniffles, wiping his tears away. Please don't apologize. I was just happy. No one's ever said that to me before. Not even my own mom told me I could become a hero after I found out I was quirkless. I was just overwhelmed by emotions. I've been told I cried a lot, so don't worry. Your words made me incredibly happy. Thank you so much, Athena. He proceeds to smile through his tears. It's so genuine that your heart drops in your chest. Midori Izuku is immensely grateful to you. Plus 14, 40 love points. Current progress, 100 out of 100. Whoa, that's a lot of points. And I just maxed them out. Did I do it? There's no way it's that easy, right? Status update. Rank up. Midori Sugi has gone from being an acquaintance to being your friend. Love point meter refreshed. Current progress 0 out of 200. 200, 2000, 200. That makes sense. The system said that the goal of your targets is to fall in love with you, but that obviously can't just happen with a blink of an eye. You have to gradually develop a relationship and advance a bit by bit. It's still a relatively fast progression, though. This is probably only the case because Izuku is such a nice person. Getting someone like Katsuki to become your friend will be infinitely more challenging. You decided to test the system analysis is actually correct and leans closer to Izuku, smiling gently. There is no need to thank me. I just said what I was honestly thinking. Anyways, this might be a scene a bit forward, but would you like to be my friend? We could exchange numbers and keep in touch. Only if you want, of course. Izuku is red as ever, but he nods eagerly. Yeah, I'd love that. Yes, please. He chuckles sheepishly. It seems that the system is pretty spot on. It seems like for the most part, you can trust the status updates are accurate. There's another problem though. You don't actually have a phone. I prepare for things like this, so don't worry. There should be a bit of scrap paper and a small pencil tucked into your wallet. Use that for now to write down his number. Hizuka's waiting patiently for his phone with his phone in hand, so you feel pretty silly pulling out a pencil and a piece of paper for now. It'll have to do. My phone broke recently, you decided to say. I'll just write down your number and add you once I get a new one. Okay. Just like that, you officially agree on your first phone number since waking up without any memories. You have a friend now. Even though there's next to nothing you know about yourself, this small fact comforts you a great deal. You carefully tuck the paper with Suku's numbers on the back of your wallet, making a mental note to buy a phone as soon as possible. You and Izuku stay a while longer to chat. He gushes more about the different heroes he likes, and apparently, he's so dedicated to his dream of becoming a hero that he keeps various notebooks with detailed notes of hero analysis. Hold. Sorry about that again. They just opened the door of my of my room. Da-da-da-da-da-da. He promises to show you the next time you meet up, to which you nod eagerly. You've been having so much fun that time passes faster than you realize. Ultimately, your stomach's grumbling is what brings you back to reality. You haven't had a bite to eat in nearly a full day, and you're starting to get lightheaded. I have a few things to finish doing, so I should probably leave now, you say, even though you honestly would like to stick around longer. Izuku looks a bit dejected too, but he realizes that this isn't the last time the two of you will meet. Thank you for staying with me, he smiles. I had a lot of fun. I I hope it was fun for you too. It was. You feel really at ease. There. It was. I feel really at ease around you. You grin. I can tell we're going to be great friends. Izuku blushes again. "Uh, Thank you for saying that. I feel the same way. Make sure to message me once you get your new phone so I can add you to my contacts, okay? Of course. You'll be the very first person I add to my list. He seemed pleased with your response. And you eventually, like, what is going on? What is going on right now, guys? And eventually wave goodbye to each other, despite Katsuki getting mad at you earlier. All in all, the date's going really well. Now then, it's time to finish up your run and get some food. Otherwise, you're seriously going to collapse. Daily task completed. You have received a comfy pillow. A pillow, huh? You sighed. You suppose you shouldn't have expected much. Consider how simple the task was. Oh well, it's better than nothing. At least you have something to rest your head on while you're sleeping your foot on. After finishing your. Oh my god. Why? After finishing your daily task, you gorge yourself into some fast food. You don't have the patience to sit down in the restaurant and wait for a full meal. But it does a job of filling you up. You feel a lot better now. You have a lot of errands to attend, so you have to hit up the mall soon. You definitely need new clothes alongside a phone, since you only have one outfit you woke up in. You take a shower and throw your clothes in the washing machine once you get back home. And it's tedious to say the least. All you can do is curl up in the covers of your futon and wait till your clothes to be ready. There isn't really anything for you. there isn't there isn't anything for you to really do in your painfully empty house. So you just lay down and stare up at the ceiling. There's something you haven't checked yet. You received a reward from ranking up with one of your targets. I pull off the screen for you. Rank up reward for Midoriya Izuku. You have received 1 skill point. You scratch your head. What's a skill point? They can be used to make you stronger. You can choose to invest them in various attributes, like strength or agility. Since you don't have a real quirk, this will help you to hold your own on a fight. Would I? Why do I need to? Why would I need to fight? You will find out eventually. It's useful to have in any case. Skill points can most blah, blah, blah. Skill points can most commit what, wow. Skill points can most commonly be obtained from ranking up with your love interest, so think long hard about what you want to invest them. Once you assign a skill point, it can't be changed. Also, they won't drastically alter your strain right off the bat. You should strain you should still train your body if you want to make proper use of them. Once again, you have plenty of questions, but no concrete answers. That being said, becoming stronger isn't a bad thing by any means. Especially if there are villains with powerful quirks looking to cause trouble, there's certainly no harm in being able to protect yourself. Based on what the screen displays, the options you can choose from are strength, agility, and vitality. They're all seem pretty self-explanatory, and you figure you'll benefit from the muscle having more power. Add 1 skill point to strength. Yes. Once you confirm your selection, a strange light surrounds your body. It's just for an instant, but you feel different somehow. You really do get stronger, even if only a little. Cool, you say, bringing the covers closest to your chest. It's nice to know that I can get stronger over time at least. You let your head rest on the pillow you just gotten. It definitely is comfy, you have to give credit, where it's due. All in all, a lot happened today, but you're slowly making strides. Now that Izuku's your friend, you aren't completely alone anymore, and hopefully soon your memories will return. You want to remember, even if you don't like what you see. Chon, chon, chon. Yan, yan, yan. Uh, Dino's Archive. Stats. Power, 2 out of 6. Class D. Speed, 1 out of 6. Class E. Technique, 1 out of 6. Class E. Intelligence, 3 out of 6. Class C. Comparativeness, co- 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 cooperativeness, 5 out of 6. Plus A. Class A. Confusion, 100 out of 6. Class S plus. Love interest, Midoriya Izuku. Friend, 0 of 200. Bakugo Katsuki. Acquaintance, minus 40 out of 100. Additional entries in progress. Okay, so heterochromatic, I think I know where this is going. But because I'm having so much trouble, and by trouble, I mean many distractions, because people are just bursting into my room, we are going to leave this here. Oh my gosh, okay. So let me just get this here, and this one here. Okay, sorry about all of this. Like I'll be trying to edit all those uh, blank spaces or the just the uh, yeah those spaces where I just yeah I don't really know what to say anymore. I'll edit the stream if I can to just edit the blank spaces in order for the stream not to be tedious or something. I don't know. YouTube is it's a strange interface. I don't really have time to explore it. Anyways, thank you again for supporting me. If you want to read this fic at your own pace and support the original creator. I'll be leaving the link in the description below. And again, I'm sorry. Oh god, I'm sorry. Things happen, I guess. Okay, with all that said and done, I'll be seeing you on the next stream with this new story or Heartbreaker. Have a nice week, and I'll be seeing you. Mwah. Bye.